With in-depth reports and analysis on the stories that are making headlines in your community, this is Orange County Prime Story.
Good evening, it's Prime Story. I'm Roger Cooper. Our topic tonight is made all the more timely by the fact that California, you've probably heard about this, is an electricity crisis. And light bulbs went off, so to speak. More likely, sunbursts went off when people started realizing we're in this problem. Our guest, who we'll get to in just a minute, have an approach to this problem we're all in that might interest you. Let's start it off by looking at the situation as far as certain homes and the energy crisis. Our reporter Heather Dawson visited a solar home.
It looks like an average home, but the Sun family's home is literally a sun house with solar panels that convert ultraviolet rays into electricity.
They're basically invisible unless you're up here on the roof.
Engineer Greg Howe made the home completely self-contained after the Suns complained about their bill with the electric company. Now it's lit by solar panels that pass currents through a charge controller and into storage batteries. But what if the skylights show a gray sky?
And these solar panels generate an enormous amount of energy even on a cloudy day.
Usually during the day, your utility meter is moving forward. But in a solar house, it's actually spinning backwards, generating more power than you're consuming and selling the excess power back to the utility company.
The normal buyback or payback period would be about 25 years on about a $20,000 initial investment.
And it's been worth every penny for the Sun family.
Well, it's simply delightful. For one thing, there isn't anything blowing.
Their last electricity bill was only $5, and they haven't had to sacrifice.
And as you can see, this is full size. They haven't skimped on anything. This is a full-size refrigerator.
So while the rest of California struggles with a power crisis, the Sun House is soaking up the rays while helping the environment. In Laguna Beach, Heather Dawson, OCN.
Heather, thank you. And joining us, the people you saw in that report, Velma Sun, the world's most appropriately named woman. That is great that you would have the name Sun. Greg Howe is an energy expert, looked at this quite a few years. I'm sure everybody's interest got piqued when they heard that phrase, you've got a $5 electric bill some months. Is that a strange feeling to have gone from big bills to something like that?
My daughter announced it to me, and she was just so thrilled that you have seen it. Mom, can you imagine? And it was just wonderful. I mean, we have everything. We have our lights, we have our computers, we have our solar. Our
everything you're used
microwave,
to in your house.
right? Everything.
Yeah, you can run anything you want.
Yes,
no sacrifices.
No
for
sacrifices at all.
Was this a tough project as they go? Was she about the average for a solar house that you work on?
Better than average. It's a fairly luxurious house, large in size. The toughest things was solar power, even though it's been around since 1958 and used on satellites. As far as a home application, it was still in its infancy. And getting this through some of the city codes and the ordinances, we were laying a lot of new ground. So there's a lot of red tape involved. As far as the actual mechanics of the solar, no, really easy.
In this house, and we want to learn more about how to do it. And we're going to have a mystery guest, a well-known person who knows a little bit about solar. He's not a solar technician, but he plays one on television and in the movies. He's going to join us next. If you've got a question about all of this, 1-800-CALL-OCN's our number. We'd love to talk with you. Stay with us. We're talking about solar homes here in Orange County and how it might help some of us get through the blackouts that are predicted for summer and sometimes. We're joined by a gentleman who lives here in Orange County and who you probably recognize from a few things like The District, The Sentinel, Just Shoot Me he's appeared in, Richard Burgi, actor. Hey, thanks for coming.
Burgi, nice to be here. It's quite an honor, and I'm really privileged to be a part of such a fun and really hot topic.
And you're not here for your acting abilities.
No, heavens. Thank goodness.
You have a solar connection.
Yeah. The company that Greg is attached to as a consultant installed a panel on my Volkswagen Westphalia, and so now I have autonomy when I go out into the wilderness with my Volkswagen Westphalia, or down to the surf beaches. I can put my computer, my stereo. I have all sorts of ancillary appliances that I plug right into the unit in the Volkswagen that is powered from the sun.
So you're not using it to do the powertrain. You're not driving on solar power.
Not yet. No, we're hoping that that technology starts to really kick into high gear and take us somewhere. But right now I'm just off the car's battery and onto the battery that's attached to the solar panel.
But I hadn't thought about, with all the off-road mania we have, the SUVs and so forth, this is a way to carry those kilowatts out in no man's land.
Right. Yeah.
What I asked Velma, what got you interested in doing this?
Mostly from an environmental point of view. I think the ecology is probably the most important issue to date. I think that, if we don't pay attention to that, there's nothing else that really matters. If we don't have some sort of a consciousness for the ecology, then, we're not going to be here that long. So it was essentially to support this industry that is trying to do something that's good for the environment.
And you wanted to run your MP3 player out in the outback.
Exactly. Yeah. I wanted to be able to dance to whatever I wanted to dance in the middle of nowhere with my little boombox. Yeah.
Is that an unusual request to put a solar panel on a Volkswagen like that?
No, not at all. I actually have one on my work truck. I use it to charge all my rechargeable tools. I've got my stereo that plays all day. And I don't have to come back to a dead battery. So it's actually quite common.
Yeah, this application, I mean, I think it should be really explored with the RV industry.
A lot of the RVs are doing it just for when they're in storage, so they don't come back to $300–400 worth of dead, deep cycle batteries. They know they can crank that key and away they go.
Okay, we got to stay close to reality. What's the cost of something like this to do?
For a vehicle?
Yeah.
Cheap. If you wanted to do, let's say, a 1,000-watt inverter, that would enable you to run a microwave, television, computer, even a laser copier. I've actually done a job for a realtor that wanted to be able to be out in the field and run the fancy home office equipment right out of his big Lincoln Navigator. Easily done. Overall cost about $2,500 on a real luxury system like that. In Richard's case, we're looking at less than $500 installed.
So if you're a realtor, you can carry